Bolts stuck in places where I'm finding for the next 3 years. And I've half a loaf of bread to keep me going for about 24 hours. I never want to see another sprocket as long as I live, but that's fine. A great canon of Ireland men motorcycling law. I think it is a historic lap. I'm very proud of it.
So I smoothened out the edges, kind of. Looks a bit shit, but we're gonna put a radiator in front of it. I've replaced the motherboard and the processor and the RAM. I'm gonna go get some more supplies. I need deionized water for the cooling, so I'll go get that before the shop shuts. Little bit dark. Bolted it in. The fans have been fitted. We have gaskets between the fans and the radiator.
And even on the inside, they started taking crazy
Scratched it up.
Like all the heavy.
The final fan is fitted. So we have one exhaust fan here. We have 3 CPU exhaust fans here. We have 3 more auxiliary CPU exhaust fans here. And we have 2. We need a light. 2 exhaust fans here. The power supply will go there. That's what we're fitting next.
So cool. Okay.
It's fun. These are like little solar systems that we can simulate on the computer, imagine their motions, but we are pushing things to the very limits of what's possible, and that's double-edged sword. It's both incredibly exciting intellectually, but you're always risking to some degree the pushing too far.
So I'd like to ask you about the recent paper you co-authored, an exomoon survey of 70 cool giant exoplanets, and the new candidate Kepler 1708 DI.
I'd say there's like 3 or 4 candidates at this point, of which we have published 2 of them.
Central corridor, meaning that sleep was usually interrupted by the working shift passing from one end of the U-boat to the other. Privacy was almost non-existent for the crew, save for going to the toilets, and even then, with only 2 toilets on board servicing 50 men, they rarely enjoyed any peace to undertake this vital bodily function, as the next man would soon be waiting his turn. Some of the most unpopular crew members were those who took their time. This was especially true in the early patrol, as at least 1 toilet was sacrificed for additional storage, only being available again when what was stored inside was used up. However, when stalking at times, flushing the toilet was strictly prohibited, as it was feared the sound would be picked up by the hydrophones on board Allied escorts that were listening out for U-boat activity. This was not the only threat.
We'll take these 3 fan plug sockets here and we'll put it through this little flap there.
Offered little protection any longer with the advent of primitive sonar technology and improved weapons such as the Hedgehog anti-submarine mortar system. For many an unfortunate young sailor, their last moments of life found them hunkered down in their dimly lit U-boats, listening to the dull thudding of an Allied escort ship's propeller slicing through the water, getting louder and louder as it drew closer. Splashes would be heard, indicating they were being attacked, and then the weapons would detonate. The sound was deafening inside the U-boats, which would be rocked in every direction, throwing the crew around like marbles. Then there would be the final blast, the one that would end the day. A loud thud, followed almost instantaneously by the
Alright, the cable management is sorted. So these 2 fans are connected to this little chipboard, and this fan is also connected to the chipboard. The chipboard is also connected to the motherboard for the fan speed, and it'll be separately connected to the power supply with the Molex connector. Then the 3 fans that are on this radiator, they all go in there, and then they're connected to, I tie strapped it and put it behind a little thing, and they're all plugged into this one here, and that's the CPU fan, and then that's that. Then these 3 fans on here, they're plugged into this board. This board is going to be plugged directly into the power supply, and that will plug into the motherboard. Because of the amps, each one of these is 1.5 amps. That's too much to plug into the motherboard directly, so we use the power supply. And the same for this big fan here. As you can see, it's 2.7 amps, so it'll blow this motherboard up. So So we plug it directly into the power supply. These are only like 0.2 amps or something like that. So we plug them straight in here. The only thing we're getting for these powerful fans is the speed. So yeah. So once I put the power supply in there, I'll feed this cable through the hole and plug it into the motherboard. That will be this one, CPU number 2, and then I'll put the panel on and we'll never open it again. Here is the power supply. We'll just oh, fancy. Oh my gosh, it's like a safe. Look at those copper coils. Oh. Okay. Modular, right. So it'll go like that way. We can make it go that way. No, it has to be that way. Okay. I'll just plop it. I need 2 hands. Okay, instead of putting in the power supply, we're just going to put the cables in first. So the big one goes in the big one. Has to clip in. It's not fitting. Oh, there we go. Clip it in. An unnatural amount of stress. It's not clipping. There we go, it clipped. Okay. Now we'll feed this through that tiny little access hole we've left ourselves. Oh, I don't think it's gonna fit. Shit, fuck. Go on. Get in there. Oh, it's pulling it off. It's pulling the whole thing off. Wait. Shit, I need 2 hands. So I've put the cable on and fed it through the hole. And then on the other side, the cable comes out. And it will get plugged into the main board plug socket here. Get in there. Click, click, click. It's not clicking, goddammit. Click it. Right, fucking don't click then. Okay, now what do we need? This one. Okay, so same thing. We'll just feed it through the hole at the top. It doesn't fit. We'll have to go through the big one. Okay, there we go. And it just wants to plug into this one this way around. Get in there. Okay. Okay. And plug that into the CPU one. And then I just need to plug in this fan thing and that fan thing, and I'll plug it into one of these. I get the graphics card cable, run that through, I'll get the graphics card put in. So, I have spent the day building the computer. This is what I have achieved so far. I have installed this fan. I have installed these 3 fans. There is the radiator at the side of the fan. I'm yet to connect the water connection things to the radiator. They go in there. I also fit 3 fans to the back, and I fit 2 fans to the back there, and put the power supply in. I'll show you the other video. Slight dilemma. I've attached the tube, the first one, and that's gonna go up to the processor, and then we'll have another tube coming from the processor, and that'll be going to this reservoir. But I don't think that top bit is watertight. I put the PTFE tape on the around the fittings. You can't see it's inside, but hang on a minute. That doesn't look very tight, does it? It's as tight as I can do it. Well, we'll see if it leaks or not. Anyway, I put PTFE tape around the thread on that thing, and then that's going to go at the CPU. Then there's going to be another tube going from the CPU coming into here. That's just where I fill it with. Anyway, so the plan was to put it along the bottom like that, but I think it's going to leak. So I could, oh shit, mount it to the inside of that fan so it's there. It's quite close to the motherboard, eh? And then I can just have one of the tubes going in there and that one coming out. Or the other thing is to put that there, which kind of makes most of the fans like totally fucking ineffective. But I mean, there is a small gap, so the fans can still get a little bit of air, but that's like the least risky option. I think I might have to get a bracket for this thing so I can fit it up right, oh shit, like here or something like that, because that's going to be glass at the front. Little dilemma. Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this fan. The cables are a bit kind of tied up now, so I'm a bit restricted, but at least now I can get better access to this. Give it a good tighten. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, go on. That's nearly a good half a turn there. Oh, that's just me gasket. Got some silicone gaskets to reduce the vibrations of the fans. Okay, so get the other one connected, and then I think I'll just undo these bolts, and I'll have to put the reservoir there for now, even though it'll restrict some of the airflow, or like half the airflow from these fans. It's the safest option. It's away from all the expensive stuff. And it is just as well that I've got some extra screws here that are an extra 5mm longer than these screws, so that will fit through the fan and the extra little bit on the radiator, and it'll just go through that radiator there and not touch the actual grill on the thing. So yeah, perfectly measured, totally thought out, way ahead of it, expected this shit. This is the heavy as hell water block that I will be fitting onto the CPU. I thought I had thermal paste somewhere, but I can't find it. Seems I've lost it, but I think this comes with thermal paste pre-applied. I'll just check. How do I remove this? Yeah. Oh no, look at that. No thermal paste. Oh shit. Okay. We'll have to find or buy some thermal paste. I'm sure I got thermal paste with something. I'm sure I seen thermal paste. Tips the place upside down. I can't find it. So we've unscrewed the fans. We still haven't put that one back yet. Just put some temporary bolts in there, just as a place to keep it in place. To cut the tube, we just kind of shove it there. It's gonna come around. And it's gonna go in there. So we'll probably cut it out there, something like that. And that'll give us a slight bit of playing room. To cut to the pipe, just use a razor blade and just cut it flat.
What did you have to stand there for there? Take the two. Look at that. Wings induced a bit of a stall there, but that's flight. So, the glider looks the way it does for good reason, stability. We need high, slender wings, gliding look, and a decent fin for that.
Anyway, I'm done. That is the finish. Pretty flat. On the other side, worse. Might work. We'll find out. Put the PTFE tape underneath the little rubber seal and just shove it in the tube. I need 2 hands. Once the thing is in the tube, you put the fitting to the thing and you turn it. Need 2 hands for that. Once it's as tight as you can get it, then put it on the oh, bit bright. Put it in there. Yeah, need 2 hands. And then the other side is gonna, oh shit, put it on the wrong tube. We'll come back to that. It's this one. So.
Messed up. So push it back in. It goes back in again.
Ooh, hard work. So put the fittings on the pump. Put both the fittings on the radiator. I've put the fittings on the CPU heatsink. I just need to attach these two now to the pump section. Reattach the fans. Put the pump onto the fans, holding the fans in place as well, and then I'll be able to prime the water cooling system, but I won't be able to use this computer to do that. I'll be using a separate power supply just to see. I think that's the in and that's the out, and it's important because the CPU thing has a specific in section, so this one is gonna go to the side.
Missing off the flywheel. There's teeth missing off the flywheel, so the pinion teeth just don't have anything to mesh with. So if you hit the key a few more times, then it will crank. And
Oh, I think I need a new flywheel. Okay, so the water pump is now fitted to the computer, and the CPU heatsink is just waiting to be attached to the CPU. Just gonna pop the tubes on and then prime it. Okay, so we put the tube in the top of the reservoir. We have shoved a funnel in the tube, and we will fill the reservoir with the water. Okay, doesn't appear to be any leaking yet. Just keep your eye on it. Right. Let it now we connected this power supply. Okay, so fill the reservoir. Doesn't appear to be any leaking underneath. Seems dry. I'll get my fingers under there in a bit. Anyway, we connected the pump to this separate power supply, to which we can switch on. We put a paper clip in there so that the power supply thinks it's plugged into the motherboard, and just shove it in. We'll switch it on there and we'll watch as the pump starts to circulate. We'll fill it up again, because I think the water level, it goes into the radiator and the radiator is just going to match it there. So we're going to have to like fill it up and then put the cap on and then tip it, you know, to get all the air out, airlock. Oops. I think air's getting in there. Just bleeding the air out. I've got to use gravity. And I could have put that on its side because it is waterproof. Just getting the air out of the radiator, and it'll lay this on its back. There we go. After many switching on and offs and tiltings, I believe got all the air out of the radiator and the heatsink. I can just see very small bubbles inside the reservoir. They should just work their way out. I'm gonna go out for an hour. I'm gonna leave it running, see if these tiny micro bubbles vanish. Oh, not quite. Found some more air. Really? Thermal paste. Oop. Arctic Silver 5. The best. It's going on you. Right. So first we have to remove these with the correct screwdriver part. Of course, these were the hardest screws I've ever had to do in my life. Okay. Now, I've got to figure out what that means. So I think I put the black washer on there, and I think it goes in there like this. Wait a minute, I think there's something on the back of that. There is a bracket. Yes. Oh. The 4 studs have been put in place. I will now apply the thermal grease. Shit, where's it gone? Fucking lost it. Thermal paste applied. Very thin layer. We'll peel the thing and we'll shove it on. Oh, that was hard work. Right. It doesn't look pretty, but we have our water cooling setup for the processor complete. So here she is, all working, and fantastic RGB lighting throughout, and can't really see what's going on much because the glass that the CPU cooler is attached. The RAM is very colourful, the motherboard is also colourful. The graphics card down here has a little heartbeat, yes. And my water cooling, can't really see the radiator, but the fans are there. And yes, it's all fantastical. And I have it set up with the 4K TV as well. And I'm just chilling here with my expensive keyboard and my limoncello and recliner. Oh yes,